So do you feel like in your 3 years of doing YouTube that you've made any, I guess, mistakes or learned anything that like
Oh yeah.
our audience listening to this could benefit from?
I'll tell you, don't overspend on gear and things to produce YouTube. I've fallen into that trap. That's probably the most important thing to spend money on when you start doing YouTube is a computer to edit,
Hmm.
because having a slow computer to edit video is not something you want to deal with on a weekly basis. So, what I did, my wife, who's clearly a lot smarter than I am, said, switch to Apple, spend a lot of money. And me being cheap, not wanting to do that. But in the end, she was 100% right, at least for me, because there's nothing wrong with PC. And I've been on PCs my entire life. I'm new to Mac, really, but
Hmm.
Mac is a lot. Well, I want to say user friendly, but there's just less bugs and there's less trouble. So for somebody like me who's not super technical with this stuff and self learning, it was not a terrible transition and it wasn't a terrible learning curve to get going on this. But a trap that I constantly fall into, and I do this over and over, and it's just my personality, is I'm always trying to challenge myself and I'm always trying to do better.
Hmm.
And just recently, I spent a whole bunch of money. I bought a whole bunch of equipment. I use none of it right now. I'm to the point where I realized that monitors on my camera are nice, but they have to be charged. And when they're dead, it's all just a lot of wasted time. So I switched to recording in log so I could um, color correct everything myself.
Hmm.
And I ended up spending twice as long trying to edit videos. And in the end, nobody ever complained about the quality of my videos. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to, don't try and solve problems that aren't problems. You're like I'm like a solution looking for a problem.
Yeah.
So when you initially start to do it, you can use your cell phone, which is what I'm using right now, which I've used for all 3 years of my channel. iPhone 12 Pro Max, and now you're looking through a 15, and it works perfectly fine.
Hmm.
There's no reason I'd love to buy a fancy cinema camera and learn it and challenge myself to do that, but it's just not necessary because this is about as far as the camera ever is from me or my subject, and you don't need a crazy camera for that.
Right.
Keep it simple. That's the best thing I can tell you. I started editing an iMovie. I switched to Final Cut Pro because one, it's not that expensive, $300 for lifetime update, and I realized my audio was subpar, and people were commenting about it, and I had to do something about it. So um, make sure you have good audio. That's key. And I switched to Final Cut Pro, and I learned that, and it's been great.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Don't overcomplicate it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.